You know that feeling, right? You finally hit submit on your tax forms, and instantly you're thinking, okay, I need that money right now. When does it actually arrive? Staying informed about your finances isn't just about crossing a chore off your to-do list. It's about having total clarity on where your hard-earned cash is so you can manage your life effectively. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to walk you through exactly how to track your Kentucky state tax refund, making it incredibly easy to stay informed and in complete control of your financial planning.
So, if you've recently filed, where is my Kentucky tax refund is probably the biggest question on your mind right now. And honestly, finding the exact answer is absolutely crucial for your financial peace of mind. Whether you're planning to knock out some debt, make a big purchase, or just pad that savings account, knowing the status of your refund really helps you plan your life. But I get it, state systems can sometimes feel like this impenetrable black box. Well, today, we're going to pry that box open and show you exactly how it all works. Okay, here's our game plan for today's explainer. We'll start with setup and terms, do an online walkthrough, check out the artist phone line, look at processing timelines, talk about obstacles and offsets, and finally, wrap up with some tips and resources. All right, Section 1, Setup and Terms. These are the essentials you need before you begin. A little preparation is key before jumping into the state systems, mostly because entering the wrong info can actually lock you out or just cause unnecessary panic, and nobody wants that. So let's start by clarifying two terms that constantly get mixed up. To keep things perfectly clear as we navigate these official portals, just remember your tax return is the actual paperwork you filed, the documents that detail your income. The refund, on the other hand, is the actual cash you're waiting to receive back from the state. Knowing this difference is going to help tremendously when you're looking through the state's help pages. Right, so before you even think about using any Department of Revenue tracking system, you need to have two things ready to go. First, your complete 9-digit Social Security number. Second, the exact whole dollar amount of the refund you're expecting. And I mean exact whole dollars, no cents. So if your expected refund is, say, $500.50, you have to round it to the whole dollar based on your paperwork. If you try to type in decimals, the system literally just won't recognize your file. Moving on to Section 2, Online Walkthrough. This is all about tracking via the web portal. Now, this is by far the most popular method. The absolute quickest way to verify your money is to jump online and visit the Where's My Refund portal at refund.ky.gov. It's a secure, direct pipeline to the Department of Revenue's database. You just type in your complete SSN and drop in that expected whole dollar amount. Oh, and here's a pro tip. That database is only updated nightly, so checking it 5 times a day isn't going to give you any new information. Checking just once a morning is definitely your best bet. Let's look at Section 3, the artist's phone line, the automated telephone alternative. If you don't have internet access right now, or maybe you just prefer a phone call, you're in luck. This system is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you got to do is call 502-564-1600 and enter your details using your keypad. But listen, here's an absolutely crucial tip straight from the state. If you don't get a specific mailing or deposit date on that call, the state explicitly recommends waiting 7 full days before calling back. Calling every single day will not speed up the manual processing on their end, I promise. Let's dive into Section 4, Processing Timelines. So when can you actually expect your money? Well, your processing timeline hinges entirely on your filing method. Electronic returns take just 4 to 6 weeks to process. Pretty quick, right? But if you mail in the physical paper form, it can take up to a staggering 10 to 14 weeks. Yeah, and if you had to amend a previous year's return, brace yourself because you're looking at 20 to 24 weeks. That's nearly half a year. The speed of this process is truly determined by how you submit your data. So, as you can probably guess, the absolute fastest standard for getting your money is filing electronically and selecting direct deposit. By doing this, you totally bypass the manual data entry required for paper returns, and you skip the physical mail delivery time for a paper check. This can easily shave weeks off your wait time. It's a real game changer. Okay, Section 5, Obstacles and Offsets. Let's talk about what actually causes a delay. So the state takes fraud very, very seriously. Think of identity verification like a security bouncer for your money. If you changed your address or your direct deposit bank account from last year, the system automatically flags it. This hold is there to protect you from criminals trying to steal your refund, which is great. But it also adds about 3 extra weeks to your wait time while the state verifies that it's really you making the change. Other frequent culprits for manual reviews and delays are actually pretty simple, honest mistakes.
Math errors are a huge one, as is just missing information on the forms. But a really fascinating obstacle is addressing formats. If you use an outdated rural route address, or if you confuse the postal automated equipment by combining a P.O. box with a street address on the exact same line, it can kick your return completely out of the automated system and onto a real person's desk. And that just slows everything down.
Now, sometimes a delay isn't a processing error at all. It's a legal interception, which they call an offset. Your refund might be reduced or completely withheld to pay for outstanding debts, things like unpaid child support, delinquent taxes, or defaulted student loans. And here is a vital piece of information regarding Kentucky law. If you file jointly with a spouse who owes a debt, your entire combined refund is subject to that offset.
Wrapping up with Section 6, Tips and Resources, let's go over some best practices and where to get help. To really protect yourself and ensure smooth filing next year, always keep your tax records for at least 4 years. That's the standard statute of limitations for the state. Also, going back to what we literally just talked about with offsets, remember that you have the legal right to file separate tax forms on a combined return. So if you need to keep your tax liabilities legally distinct from a spouse's pre-existing debts, filing separately is absolutely the strategy you want to use. If your refund is significantly delayed past those standard 4 to 6 weeks, or the automated systems just aren't giving you the answers you need, human help is available. You can speak directly to a Department of Revenue representative Monday through Friday by calling 502-564-4581. Or if you're someone who prefers to resolve things face-to-face, Kentucky actually has 10 regional taxpayer service centers across the Commonwealth that you can visit. Before we go, please remember that the information and timelines presented in this explainer are strictly for educational purposes, based on the state's official guidelines. Because tax laws can be incredibly complex and everyone's scenario is completely unique, you should always consult a licensed tax professional or CPA for guidance tailored specifically to your financial situation. And we'll leave you with this final thought. How can mastering this refund tracking process today empower you to take complete control of your financial planning before next year even begins? When you know the system, you can file smarter, avoid the common pitfalls, and get your money a whole lot faster. Thank you so much for joining us on this explainer, and happy planning.